YouTube land, what's up? It's your girl McCar from Cougar's Closet. So listen here, y'all. I wanted to bring this to the attention of married men. Okay, and before I start, let me clear this up. Where'd my phone go? I'll find it. Let me clear this up here. Let me say this, y'all had got a little nippy, so I had to put some on. But let me say this here, right? Before I get started, I am not talking about women, classy women, sophisticated women, and jazzy women. I'm not talking about those ladies. I'm talking about the women that are the scammers and the gold diggers and mess things up for a lot of women. Men, married men or men that's about to get married, I want you to pay attention and be careful about who you are marrying and if they really want you for you and not for what you have. Because there is a new scam on the loose, and I know it's on the loose because I watch a lot of court shows, and one day I was watching Judge Judy, and this came about here. So with the gold digging women, right, or the women that are trying to establish a meal ticket at the cost of a man's blood, sweat, and tears. This here is based upon that. So there's a scam, right? Like with women, I know years ago, and I know they're still doing this. Some women, to gain stability, they would determine how much, money a man made, and if they felt like he was a jackpot, they would marry him, have a child by him, get all these big assets, and then they would leave him. Whether that meant left him alone and with all of these bills and took off and started a new life, they gained traction. You hear about this all the time with these celebrities, all these wives, gaining traction and getting von Moose with somebody else's money that they didn't work for. Oh, gosh. So now here's the deal. This is this new scam, right? Where women are marrying men, and I guess they stay with them for an ample amount of time, right? And to gain, they buy a house together, right? Because the goal is to get married or whatever. So, they buy a house together, or he buys the house. I don't know who's buying the house, but most of the situations, the one that I've seen on Judge Judy, he bought the house and she just gave him money towards, getting in the house. Well, she wants to gain traction. She never was in love with you from the beginning. She never wanted you. She wanted to gain a sense of security, but she didn't want to do it through work, and she didn't want to do it, with her own blood, sweat, and tears. So it's easier to find someone who's got it that she doesn't want. She just wants the lifestyle, so she has to, go under the pavement for a minute, and act like, she's this and that. And then when she reaches a certain amount of time, I guess that law would say she could acquire these things. What she does is, mysteriously out of nowhere, she'll call the police and say, she'll start a fight, and she'll call the police or whatever and say that the man attacked her. And what happens is the police come, they'll end up removing the man out of the house, and it gives her time, to get herself together, to get her logic together and get paperwork together and get all these things together where she wins advantage over the house and she's able to take over, and he has to leave and he has to look for somewhere else to stay and all of these things because she lied and filed a police report on him to have him removed from the house so she could gain ownership over the house or the properties or whatever the heck is going on. So when I saw this the first time on Judge Judy, it was a white couple. It was a man and a wife, and they were about to get married. It was the same deal. They were about to get married, and it was a couple of spats that went on. And she was coming towards him, trying to provoke him, and he was just trying to hold her off. Well, guess what she did? She got on the phone and called the police and told the police that he assaulted her and he jumped on her. The police removed him from the house. She took over the bills, and the first time I think he had to stay away for a certain amount of time. Then they worked it out, I guess, and he went back. Apparently, she needed him to catch up on some bills or needed some extra money, so she allowed him to come back. Then she started another fiesta, and it was the same deal. She went towards him, and he was trying to keep her off of her, and she called the police again, and they removed him, and she was trying to gain traction to the house, and they were going through all these courts and stuff. And finally, they got to Judge Judy, and Judge Judy, you know, that's my girl. She was able to sort out what had happened, that the woman was basically putting him out. There was no evidence, and her police report wasn't saying what she said happened. Nothing made sense. She didn't have her times and her dates. It was all kind of stuff, but Judge Judy was able to see through this and see that the woman kept having him removed because she was trying to buy time to basically have him all the way removed out of his own house so she could take his house and go on with her life. Now I'm on World Star. I don't know if y'all watch World Star or not, but World Star is very, very popular. A lot of people don't know about World Star. That's why I want to tell you about World Star, because you can see a lot of videos of real life things that's going on right then and there in real time that people post. And it shows, you know, all these things. So if you haven't ever checked out World Star of Hip Hop, check out World Star of Hip Hop. It's not all music. It's more of this stuff that happens. Okay, so I'm on here in my me time, enjoying myself or whatever. Same deal. Now it's a black guy. Black guy gets off of work, comes home thinking everything's okay. Same deal. Police then met him at the house. The wife then filed a fake police report saying that he jumped on her. There was no nothing. They removed the man. Nothing had happened, and they served him with divorce papers. She wanted a divorce, so she cracked up this stuff to say he jumped on her or whatever, and trying to get him removed so she can gain access over all the properties. He said they have properties. So he didn't know the divorce was coming. He got served. They told him he couldn't go in the house. He could get a few things while they were there. But when they left, he had to leave as well. No fights, no arguments, no nothing. She just filed a divorce and she wanted him gone. So I want y'all men to be on the lookout for this, because this is another scam. And like I said, this is not geared towards the ladies. This is geared towards the bad ladies that mess it up for the good ladies, and men don't trust because of this type of thing. And like I said, I personally knew someone real close to. It was the same deal. He thought he met somebody. They got together. They was kicking it or whatever. She got pregnant and she wanted a house. So they went shopping. He let her pick out the house that she wanted. And she wanted a house. Y'all just tagging this damn house code about to take me under. She wanted a house, a brand new house built from the ground in the cul-de-sac. Okay. He said they took a couple of months, you know, trying to find the house that she wanted. They could never find the house that she wanted. Well, finally, it was brand new houses being built in this cul-de-sac. They found the houses. He took her, let her ride through. He rode her through. She found the house that she wanted, the dream house. He bought the house for her. Okay, they was supposed to get married. She was pregnant, and she had the baby. Okay, they in the house living or whatever, whatever. While they in the house living, he comes home. He tells me that she finds a condom wrapper in their bed, tells him he was cheating, slapped him in the face, packed up all her shit and her daughter's shit and moved out. But mind you, he told me that she had another daughter. The daughter was older. The daughter was sexual active. I don't know if she was like 17 or 16 or something along these lines. He said he trying to tell her that the daughter probably snuck a boy over there in their bed, which is not uncommon. I have done this when I was a kid, or caught myself having my first boyfriend. These stories ain't far-fetched. These stories do happen. She packed up everything and packed up the daughter and slapped him in the face and packed up everything. Next thing you know, he was left with the brand new house that he bought for her. He didn't want the house. I had went over there to sit with him, and the house was brand new, y'all. I'm telling y'all, the house wasn't built to shit. His light bill, he told me back then, was about $1,500 to $2,000. It was a big ass house. He had steps all in the middle of the floor coming down. He was stuck with the house, stuck with the bill, trying to keep the house warm because the house didn't have no installation. We was in that house freezing. He had heaters all over the place, but they wasn't equivalent to nothing. And he was upset because he was stuck with the house. He had just bought the house. And I think it wasn't no more than like 6 months after the fact, she pulled this gimmick, or a year or something. He was stuck with the house. He didn't want the house, but he had to keep the house. So now he's stuck in the house that he don't even want. He told me, he said, Makar, he said, I was trying to give her what she wanted. He said, I didn't even like the house. He said, if I had my choice, I would have picked the older house because older houses are built with better material and they have better installation in them. He was like, I wanted a brick house. He said, I wouldn't even pick this house. He said, but I was trying to give her what she wanted. Well, later on, come to find out, her and her friend, she had a girlfriend that was in the real estate. Found out that the money that they bought the house with, because see, they bought the house from her best friend that was in real estate. Come to find out that the best friend and her, they had made a pact with his money, and somehow they split the money off of something of making the house. The money that he put in, it was so much he had to put in. They would get some type of kickback and this and that and that. The friend set it up real good. He found out later on that the best friend that was the realtor and the baby mama that did this to him, that they split the money. And she went on. Now, I'm not saying that it couldn't have went her way either, and he was lying to me, but I didn't believe he was. But he got stuck with all of this stuff, and she went on and lived, got a new boyfriend, moved out, got a new boyfriend, and the boyfriend, but she bought her a house, and the boyfriend over there living in the house with her and the baby. He asked the baby, do mommy have a new boyfriend? And she said yes, and things got to unraveling. But my thing is, if you can't, me as a woman, if I came home and I found a condom, and I know that my boyfriend or soon to be could be messing around, or if I thought that with the suspicion, and the daughter was sexually active and she was sneaking around doing a lot of things because the stepfather said she was, sneaky and mischievous and into whatever. I think I personally would have investigated a little bit further. I don't think even some women are different, but I don't even think that that would have been enough right then and there to make me jump up and just pack my bags instantly. Like, I don't mean instantly right then that second, but I don't know if maybe if it took a couple of weeks or something. Whatever I'm saying is, it was all premeditated. And he was stressed out because now he felt like he was stuck in this home that he didn't want. And it was a homeowner association home where everybody grass had to be cut at the same time, and he had to pay for oil leaks if it get on the pavement and this and that. She wanted all of this stuff, but she didn't want him, and she didn't want the house. So she trapped him in the house and she left, and it caused him to start drinking every day and the next 30 days. And I told him, I said, well, why don't you resell the house or put the house up or whatever? And basically they told him, now this is a brand new house, they told him the house wasn't worth nothing. It didn't have no equity. It wasn't the value, as soon as they moved in, the value depreciated or something. He was telling me along these lines. I'm not all the way with it because it's been so long ago, but basically it was a scam. So I just want to bring awareness to you married men. For one, know who you marrying and know if they want you. Men, for the most part, they pretty good about knowing if somebody want them for them or want them for their money. But then, sometimes when they chasing the dream girl, that they know like they never would have really been able to get, then it comes down to they so happy to have her. As long as she don't leave him, he'll give her whatever she wants. But that's the thing, she don't want you. So when she gets what she gets, after a certain ample amount of time, then she leaves and you stuck with all of this stuff and you can't come out of nothing, and all because she want a meal ticket. I don't know about y'all, but I wouldn't want nobody that want me for what I have and don't want me, because I could lose everything tomorrow and then I look around and he gone with it. That would really wipe me out. So just be careful out here. Cougar's Closet. Mwah.